which are people that take away the elders from their families and take over control of them, to family members that are less than scrupulous. So Enid was a beautiful lady into her 80s and 90s, and in her elder years she became a part of this conservatorship system, which was really not in her estate planning. And so she became victim of one of the most lucrative and prevalent conservators in the entire Los Angeles County, and that person is Frume LeBeau. And she has the most elders under her care, under her so-called care. And this has become like an industry where these very profitable conservators have social workers under them, and they have case managers under them. And then they have mainly a lot of the indigent population or other people doing the hands-on feeding, changing diapers and turning and caring, so-called caring for these elders. And this is at, her minimum is $300,000 a year to care for these people. And in most cases, she manages their estates, which can be substantial. And so the LA Times article studied over 2,000 cases, 2,400 cases, over 2,400 cases of people under this conservatorship. And Ms. LeBeau states in her interview with the LA Times, "I have great power. I can tell a person what nursing home they're in, tell them who I can see, who they can see or not see." And she says about herself, "It's the greatest imposition on a person's civil rights, short of being imprisoned." And this is the person that became, through the court system of Los Angeles. And the corruption that occurred and was revealed in this 5-part nationally award-winning articles showed that the corruption of all the money that these conservators and other guardians for profit can wield a great power. They can wield great power. In my mother-in-law's case, I'm an emergency doctor. I called 911. I called Adult Protective Services. And within one of the attorney's notes, now the attorneys that are involved with a lot of these cases, they're in the high stakes game too. They get between $600 and $800 an hour. And where do they get paid? They get paid out of the estates of these older people. Anyone owning a home here, even owning a piece of property here, has now the cost of real estate, etc., has escalated so much that it's you're sitting on a very valuable piece of property. Well, the attorneys even that are involved in these high-stake games and going all the way up into the judges are involved in this whole corrupt system. And this is why this article was such a groundbreaking situation. 4 laws have come out of that article to help protect the seniors. They were signed into law in September. Well, this is fine and good, but the laws, we need to engage the laws and enforce the laws. And if you have a system where for instance, I've reviewed thousands of documents in my mother-in-law's case, and I found in there where these attorneys are meeting together and they're deciding how they can prevent me from reporting elder abuse. and what they're going to do and which one of them is going to contact the day and the night shift of LAPD to call them off. And there was also a protective services investigator that was taken off the job, and her job threatened if she continued to investigate. I guess when you control millions and billions of dollars, you can have great political influence. Well, guess what? This is the groundbreaking incident where I'm going to ask for each of yours help in signing a petition to enforce these laws. Sign a petition to the governor of the state of California, who has signed into law at least 4 new laws. And there have been other laws that have been put forth, for instance, mandatory reporting. Physicians, such as myself, are mandatory reporters. Police are mandatory reporters of any kind of crime against seniors. And so what we would like to do at the end of this is I have a petition to the governor to refer, only cases that are referred in the state of California are referred, that only cases that are referred from the governor to the Attorney General's office can be addressed by the Attorney General. So they must become as a referral from the governor in order to be addressed by our Attorney General. So we're asking at the Attorney General's office level to investigate this crime because it involves, this is a protocol for many other seniors that are in a similar situation. And this is my hope that through advocating and coming out, because actually it takes great courage for me to be here. Not only because I'm inexperienced as a public speaker, but out of because of the LA Times article, the Judicial Council of the state of California formed a special task force to investigate and see what the heck's going on all the way up into our justice system. We have justices that are playing games with these conservators, the professional conservators, and these attorneys, and what is going on here? We have to address it with this special task force. Well, at almost the end of this whole task force, they put out a 32-page report. The very bottom line of the 32 pages, it stated, we were unable to get any consumers. That's what they call us. I find that a little offensive because I feel like I'm more than a consumer. You know, I'm a citizen. You know, like they use this term citizen. But there were no witnesses that would come forward to speak to these justices. So I became the very first. Why? Because they said they were afraid. People are afraid of these people that wield such strong political power and all this money behind them. And so I became the first person to ever become a witness before this Judicial Council Special Task Force. And also through talking to various people, make recommendations to the state of California of how to protect elders. So I really ask you to join with me to enforce, sign the petition, maybe even take a petition to sign and have others sign. And you may be thinking, well, that's the kind of thing that happens to other people. You know, this is something that wouldn't happen to me. But the incidence of elder abuse, and many people may not know it, they're offended by the term abuse, elder abuse. But there's many forms of that, and it can be from financial to emotional to physical neglect, and can be someone just having you sign a contract and taking advantage of you in signing a contract, or having you sign changes, or there's so many incidents of these kind of things that are going